众所周知，新加坡地铁禁止喝水。
It's well known that drinking water is prohibited on the Singapore subway, but today I'm going to challenge that rule. It turns out you can drink water on the Singapore subway. The Singapore subway forbids drinking water, yet this Chinese man openly drank from a water bottle on a subway car, under a sign that clearly stated no eating or drinking and warned of a fine of $500. He even filmed the act to show off. The video sparked a lot of anger and criticism from online users. One person commented, "If it's prohibited, why challenge it?" Another said, "Why not go to Tiananmen and challenge holding a 8964 sign?" One wrote, "I hope the Singapore government seriously considers revoking visa-free entry for Chinese tourists. This behavior is outrageous and is making our society chaotic." Another added, "Chinese tourists abroad don't care about ruining their image. The image of China was already destroyed by the Communist Party and the Little Pinks. What's left to ruin?" On September 22nd, the subway company reported the incident to the police. Chinese media reports that this year, fewer Chinese tourists are going to Thailand, while more are choosing Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Singapore, and Malaysia. There's been an increase in negative news about Chinese people in these countries, particularly in Singapore and Malaysia, which are considered pro-CCP and have visa-free agreements with China.
Singapore
has recently passed a law stating that students, including tourists, cannot casually film videos. This has become a part-time job for some, but it's not something you could do freely. Someone said, "What if I film? What will you do?" "Well, you can't catch me, so it's fine." Like a few days ago, a young man filmed himself drinking water on the subway, even though the sign said no drinking. He drank water and said, "You can drink water on the subway. As long as they can't catch you, anything goes. But in Singapore, don't challenge the law. If they say no drinking, you shouldn't drink." Now, they've opened an investigation into him. Whether it's a fine or something else, there'll be consequences. It's already been reported in the news. A Chinese blogger believes the man who filmed the challenge is damaging the image of Chinese people.
对于拍这条视频的朋友呢，我是既不理解也不尊重。
As for the guy who filmed this video, I neither understand nor respect what he did. If you didn't know the laws and regulations of a country and did something that could be misunderstood, that could be forgiven. But if you know the law and still openly film a video to provoke the legal boundaries of others, I don't think that's a respectable thing to do, and it shouldn't be publicized. If you're not prepared to go abroad, please stay home, because when you're abroad, you don't just represent yourself, you represent all of us Chinese people living abroad. In Singapore, something strange but serious happened recently. More than 10 Chinese men flew in groups to Singapore specifically to steal. So far, they've stolen nearly 3.85 million Singapore dollars, targeting the homes of wealthy people in upscale apartments. 3 of the Chinese men have already been arrested, and if convicted, they could face up to 10 years in prison, along with fines. A Chinese person living in Singapore expressed their frustration.
身为一位在新加坡待了多年的一位中国人啊。
As someone who has lived in Singapore for many years, I really feel helpless and speechless. Additionally, this year, 5 Chinese men were involved in deliberate crimes just to extend their stay in Singapore. The Singapore Corruption Investigation Bureau revealed that these 5 men were allegedly bribing law enforcement officers to obtain special permits during investigations. This allowed them to stay longer in Singapore and continue their illegal activities, such as selling aphrodisiacs while on bail. They also paid guarantors to help with their bail. The mastermind behind the case is a Singaporean who has since been arrested. Chinese tourists in Malaysia have also been involved in many scandals, from jumping queues to fighting with locals to even attacking immigration officers. Recently, a couple falsely reported a bomb threat to an airline to get their flight cancelled.
我是终于知道为啥有一些外国人对咱们中国人有那个偏见了。
I finally understand why some foreigners have prejudices against us Chinese. When we go out and do these disgraceful things, how can they not have prejudices? This is the 3rd time in over half a month in Malaysia that I've encountered cutting in line. And guess what? All of them were Chinese, mostly old Chinese people. There's no language barrier, no misunderstanding of local rules, and not understanding local traffic signs. The line is clearly marked, but every time, when the doors aren't open yet, they find a shady spot to stand, and when the doors open, they rush straight for the door. They don't care that the line is there. No problem, just queue up. Who said you can't have 2 lines? I'm in the 2nd line, moving forward side by side. A Chinese blogger who came to Malaysia said that many of these elderly Chinese people are here to help their children take care of their kids, as their children are working here. these elderly people might have lived difficult lives when they were younger, and to survive back then, they had to live a harsh life. Even now, they can't change their ways, but if you can't change, then don't go out and embarrass yourself. Stay in China if it's better there. A Chinese girl studying in Malaysia also made a video saying that Chinese students lack proper manners in many areas.
发表一个说出来肯定会被喷的观点就是
I'm going to say something that's probably going to get me criticized, but our Chinese students really need to improve their manners. I'll give you a simple example. I often encounter Chinese students asking for directions on the streets or in the subway, and once they're done, they just walk away without even saying thank you. This is a very common phenomenon. I even see foreigners, after being asked for directions, looking helpless when the person who asked doesn't say anything before walking off.
This girl said that people like this are around her too, and after they ask for directions and walk off, she feels embarrassed and has to quickly follow up with a thank you to make up for it. She really feels it's shameful. Despite this, some Chinese tourists still complain about Malaysia and Singapore.
东南亚有2个国家不要去。
There are 2 Southeast Asian countries you should avoid, Malaysia and Singapore.
千万别来新加坡。
Don't come to Singapore. If you break the rules, you'll face huge fines. Throwing trash or spitting anywhere will cost over 1,000 Singapore dollars, and even eating in public can cost $500. If you graffiti something like, "I was here," you might not just face a fine, but also imprisonment and whipping.
不守规矩就别来新加坡。
If you don't follow the rules, don't come to Singapore, because your income might not even cover the fine.
大家来新加坡得千万小。
Be careful when you come to Singapore. It's a country where people report each other for fines, but honestly, the fines are nothing. If you get caned, that's a whole different story.
新加坡比较有名的金沙
The famous Marina Bay Sands in Singapore isn't impressive to me. I think the Crown Plaza Hotel in Suzhou looks better. The one in Suzhou is an actual big yacht with multi-story suites and a yacht-style design, including a bow on top. Suzhou Industrial Park is a joint planning project between Singapore and China. The domestic Crown Plaza in Suzhou costs around 2,000 to 4,000 yuan per night, but here it's over 10,000 yuan.
What do you think of Marina Bay Sands?
Singapore is so small, there's nothing special about it. Even a random hotel in Shanghai is better. It's like those 6-star, 8-star hotels in Sanya's Yalong Bay or in Dubai. Don't the Dubai hotels outdo it? That's the thing. It's so expensive and Singapore's too small. There's not much space to build these kinds of hotels. Overall, Singapore's cost of living is 5 times that of China. Its exchange rate isn't anything special. It's very small. It's clean because it's small and easy to manage. Can you imagine managing such a big country like China?
最大的感触呢，就是
My biggest impression of Singapore this time is that I have no impression because it's full of Chinese people. Everywhere you go, it's Chinese. This is why people online call it Chinatown. It really is all Chinese. Honestly, my English is bad, and I just spoke Chinese the entire time. It felt like I hadn't even left China. There are now many videos online from China where people criticize Singapore. One Singaporean blogger said, "Now, if you talk bad about Singapore or Malaysia online, your views will be very high. It's like telling everyone that only China is the best and there's no need to travel abroad. Singapore, Malaysia, and the US are bad. Only China is the best. So I really don't get it. You guys are complaining about these places, yet why is everyone flocking abroad for travel? Isn't that contradictory?" Additionally, a Chinese student shared a video criticizing Malaysian food.
你这吃得下去啊？上面淋了多。
Can you even eat this? What's this blue rice? Everywhere you look, there's fried burnt chicken. Guys, today we're not looking at papers. I'm showing you around Malaysia's Wenyi Newtown night market to see what food is here. Clean and hygienic, right? What's that burnt black stuff? They asked. Coloring in drinks. This bread here, I don't even know what it is. This piece here, the bread inside is just rice, like zongzi. It's not tasty, too salty and sweet. It's like sweet potato fries or sweet potato roots. Malaysia is full of these colorful drinks. In China, we wouldn't even drink them for free. This is no longer served with gloves. What kind of chicken rice is this? The rice here is red and yellow. The fish is all over fried. The rice doesn't taste good, and the chicken isn't good either. It must be a bread issue. The texture of the meat is bad. The chicken here is all over fried. These small sauces, just pour them in. This is pure green. How is this made? This is Malaysia's local chicken, but the meat is very poor. Every part of it is bad, especially bad. It's not as tasty as the ones in China. In response, a Malaysian blogger said that the chickens here are raised on natural feed and haven't been injected with hormones, so their texture doesn't compare to the tender meat of chickens in China, which are bred to be tender in just 30 days. Malaysian chickens have to be raised longer before they are slaughtered, and the meat doesn't contain additives or tenderizers, so Chinese people who are used to the more processed food might find it hard to adjust. The blogger jokingly said that Malaysian drinks all use natural ingredients. The blue drink is made from butterfly pea flowers, the green one is from butterfly leaves, and the yellow one from soybeans. These are all natural colors, unlike in China, where drinks come in lemon yellow, sunset yellow, bright blue, and crimson red, with all sorts of artificial coloring that can even stain your tongue after a sip. The blogger continued, as for the yellow rice and blue rice, the yellow rice is made with turmeric powder, and the blue flower rice is made with butterfly pea flower juice. These are traditional Malaysian methods. Unlike China, where they have modern food like Sudan red duck eggs, melamine milk powder, lean meat powdered pork, and contraceptive yellow eels. Chinese people complain that Malaysian vendors don't wear gloves, but in China, many takeout restaurants cook while smoking, hot pot chickens have people stepping on meat, and recycled gutter oil is used. Why do they suddenly develop hygiene awareness when they get to Malaysia? The blogger then mentioned that Chinese people often make headlines in Japan for the wrong reasons. When Chinese people commit bad deeds in Japan, they like to pretend to be Taiwanese. Recently, 2 Chinese individuals were arrested by Japanese police for using a fake Taiwanese driver's license. These 2 Chinese nationals, Gao Zuzhou, 38, and Gong Xiuping, 47, are accused of submitting a false application online using fake Taiwanese driver's licenses to apply for a Japanese driver's license. According to the Tokyo Metropolitan Police, converting a Chinese driver's license to a Japanese one is very complicated, but a Taiwanese license can be used immediately in Japan as long as a Japanese translated copy certified by a designated institution is provided. It's said that the 2 bought the counterfeit Taiwanese driver's licenses for 160,000 yuan, about $1,000, from a Chinese online shopping website. The police are also planning to issue an arrest warrant for a 37-year-old Chinese citizen who allegedly instructed the 2 suspects on how to forge the driver's licenses and submit their applications to Japanese authorities.
中国人又上日本新闻头条了。
Chinese people are back in the headlines in Japan again, this time for catching cicadas in Japanese parks in large quantities. There are so many that they almost wiped out Japan's cicadas. For Japanese people, cicadas are the sound of summer and a part of children's happy memories. During the summer, Japanese kids love going to parks with their parents to catch cicadas. He continued, one time, I asked a Chinese person in a Japanese park why they were catching so many. He had several bottles of 1.5-liter mineral water filled with cicadas. I asked, it's so hot in summer, won't they go bad if you don't eat them all? And the Chinese person said, it's fine if you don't eat them all, just put them in the freezer and freeze them. You can eat them again in winter. Chinese tourist behavior when sampling food in Japan can also be quite irritating. Free sample, try. Potato polo, have one more. Delicious, very delicious. This box must cost a lot, right? Can I have another one? Is it okay if I eat one? Have one more, delicious, thank you. Have one more. I can't eat this, she closed it, it won't let me eat it. Have one more, the last one, have one more. A video shows a Chinese person in a Japanese fruit shop sampling grapes. After eating one and saying it was good, he wanted to try another. But he kept using the same toothpick. The shop staff asked him multiple times to use a new toothpick, but he insisted on using the same one. Eventually, the staff had to cover the fruit with plastic wrap. The Japanese staff were trying to explain that the Chinese man needed to change his toothpick because reusing the same one could contaminate the whole batch of fruit, which would affect other people who want to sample. However, he opened the plastic wrap and poked 2 more grapes, which made it seem like he was doing it on purpose rather than out of ignorance. One person commented, maybe these people do this in China, just grabbing food and being shameless.
Don't hold it with your hand. There's a knife over there. Don't hold it with your hand. It's all set. Don't.
Meanwhile, Mr. Lee, who lives in Malaysia, said, China has a 5,000-year-old civilization and was once a model for the world to follow. During the Republic of China era, Chinese customs were proper and moral traditions were preserved. But when the Communist Party came into power over 70 years ago, they destroyed the Chinese moral outlook with their atheism and political movements. They then instilled extreme nationalism and promote self-interest and aggressiveness, turning Chinese people into wolf warriors and making them embarrassed when abroad.